Oh man, it's been a little while. You know, I ended up in such a big dip. I don't want to stream right now. I just don't want to stream. Ugh. Oh man, I just don't. Streaming. Just, ugh. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. The vast majority of streamers, they don't stream in a way that would make streaming hard. But it is annoying, and it is exhausting. Ugh. Like, you gotta be in a place and a time, and you gotta do it, and there's always this pressure to do it enough. It's like going for a walk, but someone's, like, counting, and it's gonna give you sass if you don't walk enough. Let's go, Mario! Sunday blew by rather quickly. After the high of the news of worm drama. After the initial high of the news of worm drama having a venue, we moved on to matters of prep work. Trish tried to insist that she would handle everything on advertising and merch side. I ended up getting a somewhat heated phone call with her when we actually got talking numbers. She insisted she could produce everything herself. It was completely unreasonable. She had any expectations of sales whatsoever. I mean, yeah. Took an hour and a half back and forth, but I finally managed to talk Trish into letting me take the art files of the poster and the merch samples she had of the CDs and t-shirts to some local production shops in the city during the week. That's... Please shorten... My God! This sentence is so long! How many words is that? How many words did you just banana slam into a single sentence there, buddy? I'm not counting. I'm using this. 64. That is several times the length of an average sentence. You just crammed it together. Put a period in there. I have to commit a scale bigger than single digits. Like, this does not need to be this long. Like, please break this shit up. She insisted that we stick to a poster design, which I didn't feel like arguing about her on. Why do you need this really awkward with her on? Like, I get that you're trying to nuance that it's her specifically, but we already get that impression from everything else. Like, you're already tired from talking to her for an hour and a half. She promised she'd give me the samples, CD, t-shirt, and poster at school on Monday, and I could get them over to local print shops or cops. Yes, you just said that. We already know why she's giving you them. Why are you repeating yourself? It's like, this is like, it is implicit that's what they're for. You just mentioned this. Like, what the sentence should be, right, is she promised she'd get me the samples on Monday. We know what the samples are, what they're for. Don't repeat yourself like this. I'm not stupid. I have a brain that can remember where the two sentences of text in context. Yep, listen. You want to know what I've been playing recently? Let me give you a little spoiler. Because this video is going to go up before the LP goes up. I've been playing Death Stranding, and Death Stranding is like... It tells you a few important details a couple of times. And you know what? I really like Death Stranding's just balls to the walls bullshit. Also, because it's spoken word, it gets away with a lot of repetition, because the thing is, when you are a written medium, people can go back and just check stuff. When it's spoken word, you need to make sure that your audience heard you. And they might not hear you the first time. But the thing is, the game does kind of point out what's going on for the most part. So, yeah, it's okay. It's just okay. So Sam has dooms, right? So he can send SPTs, but he still wants the baby. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, man, I want both. Well, okay, those both. But yeah, I after reading Hideo Kojima's goddamn madman absolute just mad lad ramblings, it's reading stuff like this, I'm like, come on, man. Come on, do something. As for those that are about to do a checklist of things I figured we may need for the show, Trish had thankfully actually stepped up and was trying to take the lead on things, but after my phone call with her, it was apparent that it was the first time anyone in the band had run a production bigger than practice in the auditorium. I mean, you played in the auditorium. Of course, after the hour mark of me looking at the notes on my computer, which consisted of merch booth and snacks, and asking about doing event specials, I didn't come with anything else. I mean, you're not an event organizer. Ingo is not an event organizer. I don't know why he would give him those skills. I don't know where he would get them from, considering that he just leaves more than anything. Maybe that's a skill he picked up trying to impress his friends because he's only around for a little bit and he wants to make memorable events. That's a thing you could work with. But if the author is going to do that and just give him new skills we didn't know he had before, he's not going to explain it. He's not going to be cool about it and try to justify it back into his past, because no fucking fanfic writer thinks like that. Except me. And the smart ones. That write really funny stories that make me go, ugh, you know what? Probably best to get ahead of myself and just talk to the others Monday afternoon. Although I will say that the way this is written so far, like, everyone else looks like an incompetent idiot. Like, I do feel that Inko is getting a little bit too much glazing for how little glazing anyone else is getting. Although, admittedly, that's also because he doesn't hang out with them that much, does he? Like, such a weird thing to think about. Where's everyone else's upbeats? Like, fucking Reed made a huge mistake. Probably best not to get too far ahead of myself, talk with the others on Monday afternoon. I like how we're like, it's Monday. The first portion of Monday went by quickly. Though I did notice that Naomi was regularly sneaking peeks at me during English class. Once it concluded. See, my brain is like, you're making conclusions about her looking at you. No. Once class ended, I tried to ask her about it. This is one of those situations where your editor is gonna... I didn't even know this could happen, but your editor says, listen, this is an ambiguous verb, right? It could mean to come to conclusions, which is something Inko might do because someone's looking at it because they noticed it. It can also mean the class. And technically, it should be the class because the class allows verb that happens, but your editor would say, please just stop being fancy, Matt. Matt Colville, for fuck's sake, they are industry terms for a reason. Oh, but it's an immune... No! People call them resistances, and they do it across multiple fields! You motherfucker! God damn it! Nobody cares, English major! Once it concluded, I tried to ask her about it, but she deflected, saying that we could talk about it during lunch, though she did congratulate me on the band getting a venue. Why wouldn't she congratulate you on the band getting a venue? I was a little frustrated. I didn't even know the difference, actually. I was a little frustrated by that. Since I finally made it with the others, we got the specifics, but Naomi sounded insistent. God damn it, Naomi, can't you just be fucking happy in one of these stories? God damn. Like, I get that everyone hates your guts, but can you just be self-satisfied for once? During science class, I told Fang about it, who predictably was annoyed at the news. At the news? I wouldn't be eating with... Oh, wait. During science class, I told Fang about it, who was particularly annoyed at the news that I wouldn't be... Please put it that in between there. Who was particularly annoyed at the news that I wouldn't be eating with them. At least on a pot. Jesus Christ, this is already an interspersal, you idiot! This is already an interspersal, and you're putting an interspersal in your interspersal? My God! Just make shorter sentences. But the Sour would soon anticipate and worked on the assignment together. My God! I don't care! Math class very much was the same with the others who were being disappointed. Well, hold on, we need to go to Inco's thing. We're on Inco's thing. It's boring. This class sucks. Math class went much the same way. The others were being disappointed. Well, Rue was understanding. Trish was annoyed at that. I like how everyone's just annoyed at you. I had to promise to get to this as soon as possible. Which means to placate the purple triceratops. She wants your money, man. She wants to lick and kiss your wallet and like suck out the dollar bills with her tongue. It's like this woman has never been any closer to anyone who owns a Benjamin, you know? She wants to meet that man. Whatever you want to or not. She does not have to ask you for permission to meet your friend. I bet that you could buy us and split off to our separate ways so I could hunt down Nasser and Naomi. The good news was that we would find as always, with Naomi wildly waving her arms to catch my attention. So, like, Trisha's mindset, I wonder if it's like she thinks she's gonna live an easy life, and I'm gonna tell you something funny. If someone thinks that it's gonna be easy to be rich, and you're not born rich, I got fun news for you. They either are extremely lucky, or they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Cause, like, my God. Like, oh man, what streamer? Listen, I already told you, the streaming can be exhausting and annoying as all shit to deal with. Unless you have no life and just sit around stinking up your room. But even in that context, you got lucky. There are millions of people like that who didn't get that. That's what I said. Either you're lucky and you don't know, or you just don't know. I bet that you could buy as we split off to our separate ways so I could hunt down Nasser and Naomi. The good news was that we was defined as always with Naomi wildly waving around to catch my attention. Apparently fucking... what was it again? Mudahar? It's like lying about shit? Goddamn, man. Like, why did anyone think he wasn't lying? The way he talks about shit is so non-specific. Right? Like, when I talk about IT stuff, I know what I'm talking about enough that I can pretend to sound like I know something. I feel like if I talk to Mudahar for 5 seconds, I'd be like, man, you don't know anything. Because I know what you don't know. That's the magic trick. I have a degree. I can put a little title in front of my name that means nothing. It's old. It's withered. It's just ratty. Goddamn. It doesn't even give me a job. I was told the industry was doing great. The good news was we would have found it's always... listen, Naomi's easy to see. Like, here's the thing, right? They are contrasting. Nasser is dark, so if they're in a bright environment, you can see Nasser. Naomi is bright, so if they're in a dark environment, you can see Naomi easily. It doesn't matter. If they're together, you can always see them. And Naomi wildly waving her arms so I can... Oh no, she's a wildly waving inflatable tube man. I didn't know you had a sex change. Hey, you two. I sat down, sitting at the table with him. Hey, Inko, congrats on... Ah! Oh, wait. Hey, Inko. Hey, Inko, congrats on... Ah! Naomi let out a loud scream, cutting Nasser off and immediately spilling out the energy claims all morning. Oh my gosh, Inko, I'm so happy that you were able to find the venue with Bang. Yeah, thanks, you two. Yeah, it pretty much took all day, but we got there in the end. I said with a small smile. Don't be too cocky, buddy. Don't smile normally. Surprised you managed to convince Uncle Mo to host a show. Nasser said, scratching at his chin. It was his idea, actually. What, really? Why is this on a separate sentence? Nasser's talking. Put this on this line. He's talking! Read a fucking book! They do that in books! It's perfectly fucking normal in a book to have a character do an action and then start talking on the same line! Yep, we walked around Little True for a good part of the afternoon and got a suggestion from just a guy? I don't know, he didn't look like a human being or a living thing. A guy? A guy? Yeah, I don't know if I could describe him if I tried. Anyways, we got that. Mo recognizing Fangs goes, oh, hey, if it ain't Little Lucy, he shouted. Hey, if it isn't Little Lucy. Naomi covered her mouth as she giggled. And Nasser had a nostalgic smile on his face. He ended up making a big deal about how Fang hadn't been by in a while, so he treated us to a meteor pizza on the house. I feel like you could go farther by saying that Nasser had a nostalgic aura on his face. Inko used the word aura. You know he would. You know Inko would use the fucking word aura and it would shut up about it. Nasser and Naomi's eyes widened at that. Really? Free just like that? Yeah, just like that. It didn't even take our order. He just decided to make us a pizza. He make us some of that New York slice. If you ever call a New York slice so he can hear you, he will kill you. I know. Huh. So we talk. He brings out the pizza. No, man, it was good. So I'm remembering how flavorful and savory the pizza was. How weird that you would describe it as both savory and flavorful, even though savory is a flavor. So I'm just saying, this would be... Like, let me to point something out, right? Every word you use dilutes the punchiness of a sentence. Like, how savory the pizza was sells me way more on the idea this pizza's too fucking meaty. But if you say flavorful and savory, like, oh, there's a bunch of other random crap in the way of the savory, you know? I'm just saying, man. Just describe the pizza as meaty and let me giggle. That's Uncle Mo's cooking for you. Brought a bit of the old country with him. Yeah, that. So we wrap up, Fang at the bathroom. And I mentioned we were searching for a venue, and he said we could do it there. Just like that, like it was already a done deal. Oh, how Naomi does not say fortuitous. Fortuitous is a little too old-timey for her. She's uptight and strict, but fortuitous? I say fortuitous, because I think it's funny. Just like saying, for truth? Yeah, quite a lucky bricks. You were locked in then? Locked in? Nasser's not cool enough to say locked in. Well, I gotta work with Trish to get the posters and merch made, and make sure she talks with Mo on the specifics of the show. But yeah, I think so. And then he does the only reason this is here, right? Even though this sentence already implies that he's thinking about stuff, the only reason this is here is because that's a pose he takes in the game. I fucking hate this about this shit, right? It's like, oh, we're gonna do this. Why? Because video games happened. Okay? Super cool, man. Glad things are working out. You know what a smart guy would do is if you really wanted to do this, you do it like once, and you make it the centerpiece of a scene, so that everyone's like, hey, and it's a funny moment or a good moment. You planning on attending? You seem genuinely taken aback at the request. Well, Fang, no, probably not. Listen, I'd love to, but you saw what happened last time. And then he takes the post from the video game. He's already dismissive. Like, we don't need him gesturing his dismissiveness. Like, the reason you put in gesturing on characters, right, is because it's unclear from the sentences how they feel and what they're talking about and what they're doing. But your sentences are, like, perfectly clear on what the characters are feeling and trying to communicate emotionally. All I'm saying is let Norman Reedus act! Let him act already! I don't need Hideo Kojima hovering over his shoulder like a little monkey, going, oh, now say that you're sad! Say that you're sad, Norman Reedus! God, if this actually Norman Reedus. God damn it. It's been too long. It's been too fucking long. think I'm gonna go and buy the badge, the stupid ass stickers cards for the badge, because if there's a badge, because you know what, I always get the badge for games that I really like. Just a little thing I do for myself. But there's point shop items. Oh shit. Oh man, I can get the baby. I get the little baby man. I love the little baby. The cheer one is great too. Fair enough. God, I fucking love these names are just so goddamn terrible that they loop around to being great. We got Mama. We got fucking Fragile. You want to talk to Deadman or Die Hardman? There's also Hartman. Because the fucking names can only get better. I love how just gutsy this man is. He's so fucking gutsy. He doesn't care what you think. Hideo Kojima does not enter the room and ask you for your opinion. He tells you this man's name is Die Hardman, and there will be goofy video game sounds when he's explaining something critical and emotional. I got captured and taken into arrest. Blue, 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 blue. Fucking Pac-Man ass soundtrack. And then a fucking song starts playing while you're walking over rocks. It's great. It's fantastic. It's everything I want. Game of the year. Greatest of all time. I think anyone who doesn't like Death Stranding is a little loser who thinks this is good writing. I'm sorry. Get out of my life. I don't need you anymore. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying, you're not Die Hardman. You don't have the guts to be Die Hardman. As much as people shit on Quiet, the man has guts. He ain't giving a shit. He'll bullshit his way, no matter how bad. And I like that gumption, that moxie, that chutzpah. That's why I read. To see someone's pure emotional expression, refined by years of bullshitting, laid bare. And then I go, oh, Jesus Christ, did you have to? What the hell's this? Is that a seal? Where were we? I think I'm just gonna go into fast forward mode because, like I said, a lot of this stuff is like, I get it. I get what you're trying to do. But man, if the character dynamics are extraordinarily normie and I'm bored. Isn't it kind of lame? Like, wouldn't I prefer a character that gets into some conflict with Nasser right now? You know what I would really like is if a character that goes, Nasser, you have to show up. Like your family. Your family, Nasser. You gotta show up for the dance. Holy shit, I just gave myself an idea. That's weird. I want to say something for some reason. Issue. Alright, so it's the next show for sure. You might be able to get your parents to show for it. Could you imagine? Actual real life parents. The best of style. The rest of the day, they'd go. Oh my god, they're like, oh, that's cute. That's cute though! Because Inko's a little idiot. He'd never know! How'd you know Trish wasn't with us? How? I mean, the real reason Naomi knows is Naomi probably sat there with binoculars in like the shrubbery and like going like, oh man, adjusting adjusting the lenses, even though A, that's not where the lenses are located, and B, you don't have to. Like, I don't know why you're adjusting them so much. Like, that's not how you pick up on information. Like, you can't hear her better by seeing her sharper. Unless you're lip reading, I guess. Yeah, maybe. Babe, please don't turn into the CIA. That's so unsexy. If I wanted to date alphabet soup, I'd ask my dad. Yo, for someone to talk to, not dating his dad. Are you fucking weird? Alright, over here. Oh yeah, the dinner date. You know, as much as I understand that like Nasser and Naomi are often sharing a scene together, I wonder if the two of them don't really work together well. Like dynamically, they don't really. I never get the feeling they augment each other's presences. You know. Let me try to put my little beans down right. I feel that like Naomi's most remembered scenes are in the kitchen when she freaks out at Anon, and with Nasser it's probably the one where he's like on the ground crying about like, oh man, I need to tell you about the rooftop scene or whatever that was. And I feel like those scenes are also they're also separate. I don't know if these characters work well together. The reason Stella and Rosa work well together is that they're both very energetic and they kind of get in Anon's way. So they're like this combined obstacle. I don't know if making one of the core people that Anon doesn't like and one of his sort of bro friends and put him in the same room all the damn time is really good because then neither of the characters can really live up to their archetype. You know, they get in each other's way. Naomi can't be an antagonist because she has to tone it down for Nasser, and Nasser can't be a total bro because he's just fucking dead all the time. And Naomi ain't helping. I just feel like if you set them apart and had them give them their own scenes a little more, you could really work with the characters a lot better. I don't know. It's just, I just feel like you could get a little more out of it. I feel like Inko could do more with it too. And Nasser would have told you at dinner had gone. This feels so weird, right? Because like Nasser's right the fuck there. Why, like the fact that he doesn't go, that does say something about his character, like he's passive and kind of demure around Naomi. But that also means that like when Nasser is with Naomi, he might as well not fucking be there, right? If Nasser's not gonna be like, oh well, I told her, then why the fuck is he here? Like that's what I mean. If you put these two people in the room and you end up with one character, not two, you get slurry. I'm reminded of Net Survival Guide, the episode where they have like the depressed goth girl, and it turns out the actual trick is to get her another depressed goth girl. I'm sorry, guy. Listen, we all know that you don't ship goth girls with anything other than other goth girls. That's just the law. I didn't write it. I've been told it 1,000 times by goth girls. I don't know why. I don't know. Okay, they're not even lesbian. It's just how the world works. Which is also how you know that Fang's not a goth girl or a goth non-binary person. Because if they were, they wouldn't be dating Anon. See? A little wink wink nudge nudge, you know? Safi's got this whole thing figured out. I'm smarter than you are. I swear. Man, I just ate one slice of bread and I feel full. That's good. Because, fun fact, I'm full of soup. I had mushroom soup last night, and man, it was so good. I had 2 bowls, and I had so much bread, and I'm just full of soup. I'm absolutely fucking bloated. I'm a giant. I'm one of those big meat pile boss monsters, you know, who does all the farting and the burping because it's like, oh man, it's so funny. Haha, we're in the 90s. Let's slime him, kids. So, like, when they dump slime on people, right, and they need, like, industrial quantities of the stuff, do they have, like, a big fat? Do they have, like, a guy with a big spoon and a big fat, and they just stir that shit around? It sounds difficult. The stuff looks really kind of viscous. Like, once you have a fat of it, it becomes difficult to stir. Too much of a little Trudon. I personally, you know what I would love? Is we do something like this and the character's like, I'm not actually in love with Fang. Like, after everything we've done, I've come to realize that the more I know the real Fang, the more I'm like, I don't really like you. Like, I like the non-binary, the goth guy, right? I'm here for the goth. I'm here for the sexy goth that I want to just smooch and make out with. But, like, the actual real Fang is, like, so fucking lame in comparison. You know, I would like that. Because Anon's already the inverse of that. Why not go the other way around? And, like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with this, man. Like, we were dating, but somehow it didn't feel like a date. It felt like I was walking around this little princess. I wanted to step on me with those goddamn boots. The hell was that? I don't mean what I said. I mean, like, I felt something weird in my throat. The first of oh, young Naomi, you're 18. That's such a weird thing to say, especially since you're already dating Nasser and you're gonna break up. Like, you're the young love, you blind bingus. Also, I feel like uncomfortable is the wrong word if you're going with the idea that Inko does like Fang. You should go with makes him bothered, or makes him, you know, feel a little steamy. But uncomfortable implies that he's uncomfortable with the concept and the idea and everything, which I feel is like the inverse of everything. Hold on, hold on. I'm thinking about those beans. I'm thinking about those beans. Yeah, love me some of those beans. It wasn't a date. Listen, she already explained why it is a date. I'm expecting Stare got me to freak out. Babe, settle down. It's getting pretty evasive. You're friends, right? I think talking about stuff like this, you know, like, if I knew the questions, I could probably say yes. But otherwise, I'm like, Nasser, this is perfectly on brand for, like, what friends do. If you're actually friends, at least. God, listen, I'm kind of stuck in between talking to someone. That's completely separatist. But I'm, like, thinking about a thing I want to write. I've got Pretty Little Birdie, but it's not going anywhere. Mostly because, for some reason, when I write nowadays, I've been writing a lot. It sounds so fucking pompous. I'm constantly using big words. We're like, come on, Safi, take that stick out. Just take it out. And it's terrible. But now I'm like, okay, you know what? What I just said, I kind of like the idea of, like, what is it again? Oof. Having, like, a no-nonsense, high-chemistry character like Ophinia, whose sole job it is to just bounce off of everyone. But also slightly tweaking Anon. So, like, Anon's, like, eventually, like, oh, you want to be Lucy? Gross. I liked you because you're a hot goth girlfriend. I'm not interested in Lucy. Get out of here. And then Lucy would respond with something like, what? You thought this was anything other than a phase? You think people stay goth into their adult years? And he's like, yes! Times change, Fang. It's normal now. Do you have any idea how many trans women get away with that shit on a daily basis? And they look better than you! That's the... Oh, God, that's such an anon thing to say, because then he's gonna be like, oh, shit, that's gay! And the audience gets a good laugh out of it. And then Fang would call him out as gay. Fang calls them out as gay a few sentences later so that the audience can already come to the conclusion themselves, and it's just for the people who missed the joke. And they can be like, oh, you silly goose! And everyone else already got the jokes, like, hey! Don't do it too soon, because otherwise the people who could have gotten the joke didn't get it in time. You gotta give that break. You gotta let it sink in. That's why comedians tend to stop. It's not because of the applause, necessarily. It's also because some people take a minute. Take a minute. Give them a minute. Let them laugh it out, and let the people catch up, etc. Naomi blinked. Jesus Christ. The most important verb in the world. Then her eyes widened and mouth snapped shut. Man, we got blinking twice. Jesus, our blinking budget's running wild. I don't think she... Like, considering who Naomi is, I love the idea that this is all theatrical. She's just pretending. I would love that if Inka is like, huh, she's doing all this, but it feels so performative, you know? I don't know. This being... Okay, hold up. Hold... I think I'm gonna end this video in a bit, but I got a big point for you. This. I'm gonna point out something about this that's really weird. Why is this past tense? If this is an interruption, right? This is an ellipses because Inko is, like, taking a minute. Why is it past tense? If he needs the air right now, which is required for him to have an ellipses of pausing, he's pausing in the sentence, but he's talking in past tense? What? I needed some air. I needed some air. But you need it right now! You bingus? You little dingoid? I need to talk to Trish. We gotta talk business. There's no better way to kill an erection than to talk about business. And then Nasser's like, no, it's not, man. You have no idea what business boys get up to. He's like, the business boys? And he points at another table where the business boys are at. And he's like, I haven't seen those guys go flaccid for weeks. And they've been on the phone the whole time. Talking about business. Just call them the business boys. I wonder if there are dinosaurs that, like hyenas, have pseudo-penises. Where the women have those. That'd be neat. That'd be neat. A fun surprise! Inko! Anon, would you like to learn a fun surprise? And they're like, no, there's still a hole down there. And Anon would say, like, is this docking? Is this docking? I don't want to talk about docking. God damn it, Safi. 18 plus rating. Acquired. Anyway, where was that? I can see nobody deflate as they talk. And they leave. So what do we achieve this whole fucking conversation? Naomi's invasiveness, but since we're reading this, we probably already know that. Like, yeah, they're just kind of caught up on things. I don't like that. I don't like scenes where it's like they're obviously just catching up on shit that the readers already know. This is that stuff you dump into a, like, we had lunch together implicitly. Because I don't fucking care. Unless the scene has, like, character chemistry and shit's happening, don't. Nobody cares. Nobody wakes up at 5 in the morning for this. If your reader won't wake up at 5 in the morning for it, don't write it, okay? You get up at 5 in the morning and try to write this fucking scene.